we are playing nearly 50 to 60% of our catalog to our users per month. That means if we have nearly 1 million tracks in our database, we are playing several 100,000 tracks to the users. This is, I think, a little bit more than terrestrial radio can do. So we are here at AUPEO in Berlin, and I'm Steffen Holly. I'm the CTO of AUPEO, and I'm responsible for the product. And the product means we have to cover the music content, which is the music itself, because we are personal radio. And we have to keep an eye on our technology, of course. We're working together with Fraunhofer Institute, for example. And of course, you always have to clear the licenses for the music you are playing. So this all belongs to the product, and that's the thing we are doing. AUPEO is a European or worldwide service, so we are covering more than 40 territories in the world with our music licenses. And we are playing, people in the US know the Pandora model. In Europe it's not that well known, it's personal radio. You can start playing your own music channel, and you can say if you love the music or you ban the music, and the better it will become with the more information we get from the users. So the feedback is required to improve the radio channel. That's the thing we are doing. And I think one of the unique things we are serving to users is that we are real cross-platform. That means we are not focusing on a certain device or on an app or on a website. We have universal API which we can implement into every device which is connected. So starting with notebooks, netbooks, PC, of course, with the browser, and then with internet radios, and then with TVs which are connected, set-top boxes, Blu-ray player, and of course smartphones, because they are also connected. And that means, of course, also we are bringing music into the car, because cars more and more get a connected module. So with a data plan you are using and your SIM card, you are able to play internet radio, and of course then you will be also able to play AUPEO personal radio as well. I think this is a very, very interesting question, because it always comes down to music licenses. So if you're going to talk to a musician, and I'm also a musician, and I know what will be the question. If you're saying, oh, we are a music service, then always there will be questions. Oh, what you are doing with my music? And that's why it's very, very important to have an answer right away to say, this is the situation, we're having license from these territories, and most important, there are several usages which you can serve to users. So I think the mostly known service at the moment is Spotify, and in the US maybe it's also Mock and a little bit Rhapsody, something like that. In Germany it's Simfy, but these services are mostly on-demand services, and that's why you have to clear every right you would like to acquire and would like to serve to a user from the labels and maybe the artists directly, and then from the publishers as well. And there is no chance to get a so-called collective license from a collecting society. But if you are doing radio, then you are able to get a collective license. This is, for instance, represented in the US by Sound Exchange. They are collecting the money from Pandora. In UK it's the PPL, and in Germany it's called the GBL. And these companies, some of the regions have mutual agreements to each other. So for instance, we have closed a contract with the German institution GBL, and they have mutual contracts with the other collecting societies in European and Asian and also American countries. And with one contract you can cover for the radio license several regions. At the other regions, we are closing single contracts because they are not included in these mutual agreements, and we are going to ask the collecting societies in these countries as well. But this depends on the hardware penetration we are having in this country. And as soon as we see we have a growing usership in, for instance, in Brazil, then we have to go to Brazil to the collecting societies or the publisher collecting societies as well and asking for the right. And there is a definition for radio services. So radio is the simulcast, which you know from the radio stations you are listening on FM. This, of course, is quite understandable. But for personal radio, it's also possible to cover your licenses with such a collective license, because you are allowed to, for instance, not playing a song which the user may want. So you're starting a station and the user don't know what's in the station. So you can say this station is hard rock, or this is metal, or this is dubstep, or whatever, and he presses the button and then the music is coming, and this is entertainment, passive entertainment. And as long as you are doing and keeping your functions under the control of these requirements, then you are able to play under these conditions. And that's why it's a little bit more easier than to get an on-demand music license, but it's a big challenge, of course. I agree. It's every day you are learning a lot, and some content owners always coming back. So labels, if they hear about AUPEO, first question is, what are you doing with my music? And you always have to explain what you're doing, because they are, first of all, asking not that you are not doing something illegal. And yeah, we have to build a real big trust to the rights holders. So I think the traditional radio has lost, from my opinion, its influences on the music scene, because at the moment they are optimizing according to their audience, and this means they are playing the lowest common denomination. So they're really playing what they have to play. So the playlist for a commercial radio station is 150 tracks for a whole month, and that's not enough, and they are always playing the same if you are looking to the formatted radio on FM. And if they're taking something new into their program, this is something which was already popped up on blogs or in the internet, or somebody who is playing a lot of shows in that area. And they only playing the secure thing. They won't be sure to play the right stuff. And they're always asking, oh, should we play this or that? So at least for new music, there is no chance to get in radio. And nobody should focus on traditional radio if he wants to become famous, maybe. So everybody has to focus on his music. I think this is one of the most important things musicians can do today. But then there is a variety of things everybody can do at the moment. And of course, that's why we are thinking that there is a difference between the radio approach on FM and in the internet, because users have the choice. And at the moment, they can choose one of the several thousand internet stations already existing, or they can start an experience, for instance, with AUPEO and saying, I also have an idea, I would like to hear some pop music, but I would like to hear some pop only from the British invasion style, and then he clicks one button and he gets the program. So at least AUPEO is internet radio, but you have all the stations, all the genres, the whole variety of music, the whole catalog on your fingertips. So you can choose the genre, You can choose a mood maybe as well. And if you have this huge program, you can play always new music to users, not only the same tracks and again. So we are playing nearly 50 to 60% of our catalog to our users per month. That means if we have nearly 1 million tracks on our database, we are playing several 100,000 tracks to the users. And this is, I think, a little bit more than terrestrial radio can do with their program, which they have to serve to, of course, thousands of users at the same time. But all the new music is not there, or nearly. It will be there if it somewhere else was popping up on the internet and blogs and stuff.